Hi Flosstube, it's Megan, here for another Sunday weekly update. I think I can finally say that I'm getting into the hang of this, and it's going to happen every Sunday. So far, so good. I can already hear somebody coming down the stairs, and I just heard my name, so we may have an interruption here in a second. What? Can you talk to Daddy and have him set it up for you? He's in his office. Yes. He wants to play a game on the PlayStation. The PlayStation VR. It's called Astrobots. It's actually a really cute game. He just needs help getting it set up because we have to put the VR headset away so it won't get ruined or wrecked. And by the unhappy sound coming, I don't know if Daddy gave him an answer he wanted to hear. We'll see. Okay, anyway, getting on to stitchy stuff. And I'm going to put this down before I keep playing with it the whole time. Okay, done. I can do this little teeny tiny ponytail, but then I look weird, so I need to go get my hair cut again. I've always had my hair very, very long, and then I cut it really short, and I really, really liked it short because it stayed out of my way. And now it's getting long enough I can put it in a little mini ponytail again, so I want to get it cut again, so it'll stay short. It was nice short. Low maintenance. I'm a low maintenance person. Okay, so this week, we've got stitching from last week, we've got the plans for this next week. Little bit of haul in the fact that I kind of get lucky that I get... This is what happens when you work and help out at a stitching place. You get kind of the rejects. Yes, sweetheart. Well, then you need to go clean up your room. Well, how about you go start and try it, okay? Just do one thing at a time. Put your toys away, and then put your clothes away, and then fold your bed. Fold your bed. Make your bed. What? Start with the toys, then. Go put the toys away.
I'm not doing my clothes. It's gonna be hard.
Riker. Okay, well, I'm doing something right now. So can you go at least start working on it? Then go sit on the couch and do nothing.
I made a mess on it.
Well, you made a mess in her room.
No.
Okay, Riker. I love you, sweetheart. I will come help you in a bit. Okay? He's actually the sweetest little guy ever. Yes, but apparently he can't clean his room without help. Even when it's not that messy. He actually can, he just doesn't like to. Anyway, moving on. Real life, people. Real life. Okay, so yeah, stuff for last week, stuff for this coming week, a little bit of haul. And yeah, so we'll just jump right into it. So for last week, for Magical Stitches, we had one of 4 prompts, and the prompt that we were going to do would be chosen by a random wheel spin. So it was either a project you would wear or find at a Halloween party, stitch on something cold, stitch on something you would find underground, or stitch on a project that involves a button. So for Boardwalk Resort, our wheel spin dropped us the prompt of stitch on something you find underground. So of the 4, because I had picked out something for each of them, so of those, that was Last Stitch Cemetery, by Hindsight. All these cute little beads and stuff. Actually, they're charms. Not beads. They're charms. So I had to put 300 stitches into this one. Ready, thread, good. There we go. And so this is how far I got that gravestone pretty much all done. So, and I was doing that because gravestones, headstones, whatever, are on top of graves, and graves are underground. So that's where I got. And this is on a fabric flare. They're glitter bats. They're really easy to stitch through. I have no trouble with them. But anyway, So that's how far I got on that. And that was all we had to do last week. So it was pretty straightforward and simple. Then, going on right now until midnight tonight, there's a pop-up event that Maleficent, a thing with Maleficent and the Evil Queen and all this stuff. Anyway, so we're stitching on something that captivates us. So I'm actually working right now on... Somebody's dragging the chair upstairs. I'm working on my Death by Cross Stitch, because I actually haven't worked on that in a while, and it really does captivate me. I love the colors that I'm using. It's a silk from Mo's Sale, and I'm just doing it on white with these silks, and it's gorgeous. So I've been working on that, so I'll post that next week, because it's still in progress, so I'll still get quite a few stitches in on that one. For this next week, we have started a new month and a new book. So now we're in the, I believe it's Fairest of All. It's the Disney Villains series. And so it's basically the stories from the point of view of the villain. So this one, of course, is the story of the queen, the evil queen in Snow White, and how she became evil. I read the book in an hour and 20 minutes. So, I mean, they're pretty simple reads. Such a good book. Such a good book. I loved how they played on the whole story, and I loved how it ended. It was very, very well done. So now that we're into that, all of the prompts are going to be following that as well. I also know that this month there's going to be some more areas in the Disneyland park that we're going to be able to open. Of course, we're all still working towards Cinderella's Castle. I finally got my 1,000 stitches in on that, and I'll show you what I did for that. I don't think I have actually the front picture anymore. I used to. But you'll know it. It's from the Disney Thomas Kincaid cross stitches. I have a couple of the big ones, but I also have this little one that's just from the Peter Pan one. It's just Tinkerbell flying. So it's just that. So pretty much all the blue, all this part from here up, not including Tinkerbell, just this part up, was what I did. So it was well over 1,000 stitches. But anyway, so I finally got my initial Cinderella stitches in for my participation, and then the pop-up event stitches that I'm doing with Death by Cross Stitch, those will also go towards Cinderella's Castle. They have said that there are several other spots in the parks that will be basically opening up for us. Well, we'll be able to open them up with stitches. So we're still kind of waiting on seeing what those are. And of course we have the extra credit, both reading and stitching, that I've got to figure out. And I've got them all written down. So this is the reading extra credit and the stitching extra credit. So yeah, I got all the reading extra credit done last month. Did not get the stitching extra credit done, so I'm going to try to do both this month. Because I think I can easily find something that will cover everything. One of the extra credit readings is an alternate retelling of Snow White. And the book, one of the books that is a suggestion from that, I'm pretty sure is at my parents' house. So I'm going to swing by and grab that, and that makes that easy. So for this next week, the prompts, of course, are all following the book, and so it's basically telling the story of how the queen was actually the daughter of a mirror maker, and the king, after, of course, his wife, Snow White's mom, passed away, had gone into the shop, had seen her, and basically ended up falling in love with her, and that's how she ends up becoming the new queen. They just call her the queen throughout the whole book. It's just the queen. She has no name, just the queen. So this this first bit of the homework is pretty much for the wedding that happens, and there's a festival that they go to, the Apple Blossom Festival, and the queen has nightmares when the king has to go away to war. So that's kind of what that is working around. So our first prompt is for the royal wedding and the fabulous clothes, stitch 100 stitches on a project that has beads. So for that one, I am going to be doing Someone We Love. It was the 2019 Glended Place limited edition. And hi, Wesley. More interruptions. You want to come say hi to everybody?
Hello. Hey, Mommy.
Yes.
I folded all my clothes and brushed my teeth. Smell it.
Oh, they smell so good.
Can I watch your
Good
phone,
teeth.
please?
I'm using it to record a video, but as soon as I'm done recording the video, you can have it to watch, okay?
So, Mommy, when are you going to be done?
Probably in about 20 minutes or so.
Okay. Are you making that for everybody?
Yes.
And on the whole world?
Well, whoever watches it.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, can you shut the door on your way out?
Yeah, but I'm a chicken.
You're a chicken?
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye, chicken. It's my oldest. Yes, we have to put stipulations on phone watching or they would do nothing but watch the phone all the time. So, anyway, I want to have my own phone. Okay, so for the beads, Someone We Love because it has, of course, a lot of Mill Hill beads in it. So I'll be putting 100 stitches in on that, and here it is. So, and I got the, of course, I got the kit and everything, and I got the linen kit for this. So looks like a picture of this plus linen. So that, I believe that it's facing this way. That is where I'm at. It's kind of working around the bottom. This is actually a pretty quick stitch, surprisingly enough. I'm kind of impressed. I left my needle in there. Okay. I stitch in hand, so even though I have a bajillion and a half needle minders, I kind of don't use them. Well, I kind of do sometimes. So what I'll do is I will hook the needle minder onto the pattern itself, and then I'll just put my needle on that when I'm switching colors or something. So, but I'll put it on the actual paper pattern, not on the fabric itself. Okay, so the next is the king and queen have fabulous meals together. Stitch 100 stitches on a project that has a food you would not eat. This one was a little hard, but I was able to find one that works for me, because this is a food that I will not eat because I do not particularly like it. So I am going to be doing the Peppermint Pixie by Lena Lawson. And the reason I chose her is I'm not a fan of peppermints at all. I mean, I'll have an occasion. I haven't had a candy cane in years. So I will not eat peppermint candy canes. I just won't eat them. I don't like them. The kids like that because then they get to eat all of them. So for me, that is a food I won't eat. And so she's going to be a new start. And I'm doing her on a 28 even. And this is a fabric flare, and it's called Shelly's Aura. So she'll look pretty in front of that. I think it's going to be pretty fun. Kind of looks like it's up in the North Pole, playing around with the aurora. Yes, Wesley's sitting on my chair right over there, so you might see a hand or a face or something. He likes to do that. See? Okay, so prompt 3 is Snow White's favorite color is blue. The Queen's is red. Pick one of the two colors and stitch 100 stitches with that color. It must have the word blue in the name for the blue, and for red, it must have the name red or one of these: garnet, cranberry, raspberry, or rose. So it's pretty specific, the thread you have to use. So I decided that I'm going to, it is the year of new starts. What are you doing, sweetheart?
Yeah.
You're just hiding in my closet?
Yeah.
Okay. It happens. So I'm going to be starting Snow White by Brooks Books. And, I mean, with the red, we've got bright red, Christmas red, garnet medium, dusty rose, baby blue, baby blue. So, either way, I'm covered with this one. And it goes with the story. It's Snow White. I'm excited. So that is going to be a new start. And, Leslie, can you please come out of there? No, can you please come out of there? Okay, I'm trying to finish this, and then you can have my phone, okay? Okay, I love you. So I am doing this on, this also is from Cindy at Citrus Express, and it's a very light denim. I love the modeling on it. So this will be a new start for that one. I've been looking for an excuse to start the Brooks books once, so might as well get started in them. Okay, prompt 4 for the Apple Blossom Festival. Wesley, please, can you please wait outside?
Okay.
Thank you. Shut the door, please. He's a persistent 8-year-old. Okay, so for prompt 4 is for the Apple Blossom Festival, stitch 200 stitches on a project that has a flower. So I am going to be doing, this is a CCN, and it is Morning Glory. So it's these 2 little birds on top of flowers in their pots. And this I am doing on a medley from Citrus Express, and the medley has 4 different patterns. So I'm doing a different stitch on each medley. So I did Miss Peepers was up on this one. So now I'm moving over to this one. I want to say, is it this? Yeah, it's this way. It's going to be up and down like this. So that's where it's going to go. So I got it a little started. So we'll keep going and get some more progress on the flowers. And then, of course, I have the 2 other pieces, and I've got 2 other plans for that. So it's kind of it's a pretty fun one. I wanted to show how you could be very versatile in the patterns you chose when it came to a medley. Okay, and the last official prompt is for the Queen's Nightmares. Stitch 200 stitches on a project that gives you nightmares. I don't have any project that gives me nightmares. That just doesn't happen. But I picked one of my scary projects that, if I did get nightmares from stitching, this one probably would give me nightmares. And it's a Designs by Lisa, and it's This Wicked Hallows Eve. And the poem is, there's a bad moon rising this wicked Hallows Eve, where evil crouches in wait with dripping fangs and dank, matted fur. Hide, lest it be too late, for they run with the witches this one ghostly night, up to ghastly and devilish deeds, for a pat on the back and a sharing of souls to satisfy bloodthirsty needs. I mean, if a piece was going to give you nightmares, it's a pretty good one to give you nightmares. And I have no clue where I got this fabric from. Somewhere. Anyway, but this is how far I've gotten on it. And so that's just kind of the bottom of the witch. I think this is, yeah, this is a linen. So I'll just be adding 200 stitches in on that. So for the official prompts, those are all the ones for the official prompts. Now, our last thing was a bonus. There was some bonus stitching in this one. And so the king has 3 odd cousins. They're 3 sisters, and they're very weird. Very, very weird. So what we have to do is we have to stitch exactly, no more, no less, 111 stitches on a project that has an item that starts with the first letter of their name. So the names are Lucinda, Ruby, and Martha. And so I went through, and so I decided that for Lucinda, I'm going to stitch on the Spooky Tree by Rovaris, because it has a ladder. Wesley's hovering. I already told you will be able to watch it when I'm done. You need to wait. He's hovering right outside the door. He's like, You done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? So this one, I think this was an Under the Sea fabric, I want to say. I'm not sure. But there we go. So we've got the green bottle, a little bit of the branch. So I will be putting in exactly 111 stitches. The 111sies. 111th birthday. It's a lucky number. For those of you who know The Hobbit. And Lord of the Rings. 111 is an important number. For the other two, for Ruby and Martha, I am going to work on Soda Stitch's Women's Room. Yeah, it's a very shiny pattern. You can see my computer. Hello, computer. So I'm going to do this. So for R, it'll be Rose. And for M, it'll be Mask. So Rose and Mask. So I'll be putting in 111 stitches, taking an end picture, and then another 111 stitches. So this will get 222 stitches in it by the time it is done. Technically, I probably could have done all three on that one because there's a lipstick. But I kind of like splitting it into projects. This one I'm doing on Gray Lace Greenish Blue from Stitcher Express. So that's what I have done so far. So, got the little teapot started down here. Got her silhouette up there. So yeah. So that will get 222 stitches by the time it's done. Let's see. I think. Yep, that is it. So if we get it all done, it'll be a total of 10 points, which would be pretty awesome. And of course, I don't know when they're going to be releasing the information on the parts of the park that we can unlock, but I know once those are released, then I'll add stitching into that, just grab random projects and whatnot. So the little bit of haul was more just stuff given to me by Cindy. So she had found this, which I kind of had to laugh about. So it's from Angel Stitching, and it's Be a Witch. I wanted to be a witch for Halloween, but my mother-in-law wouldn't lend me her broom. Okay, I had to laugh about that because my mother-in-law is like the sweetest ever. So I just had to laugh because I know that some people are like that. Some people are seriously like that. Or I should say some in-laws are seriously like that. I have great in-laws. But trying to... I don't know. I got to figure out some way to change that around. It'll be just funny. So she also has all 400 and some odd patterns of cross-stitch wonders that she can just print off. And so she had a couple that either printed off wrong or had errors, or she forgot to print them in color, and so I get them. So I've got Believe in Your Elf. I thought was cute. I do not do Elf on the Shelf at all. No. But I do love the movie Elf. So I like this. I like this one. Kudo points to the people who do Elf on the Shelf. My favorite Elf on the Shelf was somebody had taken peppermint candies and had broken them up and other candies so it looked like the shape of the Elf on the Shelf, and had Thanos standing in front of him with the gauntlet. And he had snapped his fingers and the elf had dissipated. I got a good laugh out of that one. Okay, I don't drink at all, but I have cousins and aunts who do. So I would probably make this for them. And it's called Today's Workout. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that was pretty funny. I mean, I actually made a dish a couple weeks ago that we had to do a red wine reduction, and my husband had to go and buy a thing of wine from our the state liquor store. So that was pretty funny. It's the first time I think he's ever had to do that. This one, life is better with cats. It's true. It really is true. I love cats. I'm just horribly allergic to them. I'm very sad. And I mean, I snuggled a cat a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I was like, my eyes were swollen. I was all red. It was so worth it, though. It was such a cute cat. So snuggly. So yeah, one of these days I really, really want to get one of those hypoallergenic cats. You can probably hear the boys scaring each other in there. And then this one, Dear Santa, it was the dog. I thought that was pretty funny. So I got this version because it was printed on the wrong paper. This version because it was printed on the wrong paper. This one because it only had the front, not the back. This one because it was printed in black and white. And this one I'm going to have to stitch for somebody because our dog is not a rescue dog. Proud rescue dog mom. But ours is not a rescue dog. So I'll have to find somebody to stitch that for. So yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of the haul I got for this last week. And other than that, pretty much been doing some embroidery stuff, playing with my new machine, and kind of just having sort of a relaxing week. We're supposed to be getting a big snowstorm, so that could be interesting, but if it's like all the other big snowstorms we have, we'll practically get nothing and it'll all be gone in a day or two. So, I don't know. We've been getting very light in the valley. The mountains have been getting 7,000 feet of snow. So, I think we're like at 150% of the snowpack, and we have like barely any snow. I don't even know if we had to shovel yet. I know the kids went out and were playing with the shovels, but I don't even think we've had a shovel yet. I mean, that's how little snow we've gotten. So, it's kind of crazy. Okay, anyway, I think that is it for me for this week, and I will definitely make sure to, show you all the fun stuff that'll be happening this next week. Wow, brain freeze, total brain freeze. Anything else happening interesting? I don't think so. Hopefully, even though we're supposed to be getting a huge snowstorm, hopefully the roads will be okay enough for me to drive up to Cindy's to work tomorrow. I'll probably end up taking my car because I have an all-wheel drive. My husband's Tesla is just a rear-wheel drive, and so those don't work great in snow and crazy weather, and I wouldn't want to take the Tesla out anyway if it wasn't all-wheel drive. So I'll probably be taking my car up, and then yeah, it's just going to be. So the stitching, the pop-up event ends at midnight tonight, and then all the other stitching stuff starts up tomorrow. The books and the extra credit, I can start anytime. I just have to figure out when. So yeah, anyway, if you've gotten this far, haven't subscribed, consider hitting the button. Love the little notifications when a new subscriber comes on. If you have any questions, comments, short stories, theories, anecdotes, all that fun stuff, you're welcome to leave them down in the comments, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye.